Hey, Fitzy here, back at it again, another one. Winter storage. Yeah, I got this one here all ready now, so I can leave it outside for the winter. I ran into some major headaches with this, trying to get this here ready. And I got my plow truck done, and I got patches put in the garage. Stick around. Last run for the year. Usually I put the old Chevy away every year, and this year I decided to put Wendy's Mustang in storage, where I stores this to. So I'm here now today, taking this for one last ride, because I have plans for the old Chevy over the winter. Every few years I get this going over, make changes to it. But I don't get into like a major project. This has to stay running. I'd love to put an LS in it. It was a cold start here today. It's probably about, I don't know, 5-6 degrees today here, Celsius. So that's all you can do. I only use it in the summer months most of the time anyway. But she's shown her signs of wear and tear on her now. She needs a bit of a love and attention, so I'm going to work on, I have some plans for it over the winter. I'm going to bring it back to the shop. It's going to be parked outside all winter, so I'm going to dismantle all the chrome and everything off it and put all that away, so I haven't got to worry about that. The spotlights, that type of stuff on this here has a tendency to rust because it's only cheap chrome. So I'll probably have to replace that again. That's the second set of lights on this car. Other than that, the rest of the chrome is in really good shape. And I just assume take it off because it's going to be parked outside. The car is going to be painted. But this one is a little bit different than everything else that I'm doing. Well, I can't go getting into fully restoring this car. This car has been mucked over a number of times in his life, and it's gotten to the point now where that to completely strip this car and to do it properly, I'm going to be getting into a full restoration, and I do not want to get into that with this car. This car to me is a fun cruiser. I beat around in it. I'm not concerned about having it mint, okay? But it's showing its signs on it now. I got a couple of holes in the corner panels. Spots are breaking out. The paint is really old on it now. It's only trim clad on it for paint, but I leave it out all summer. It's parked in the rain, the sun, the whole 9 yards, and it's been 6 years now like it. So it's taking its toll on the old paint. The paint is faded out, and I can't do nothing with it anymore. It's got a gray look to it, but that's fine. If I paid, I think it's $40 to paint it, so I got 7 years out of it, so there's nothing wrong with that. But for the most part, I'm pleased with it. I'll be getting it all the same again. I'll be doing a trim clad coat of paint on it, and the bodywork on it, well, I'm not digging into it. I will be digging into it a bit, but for me to actually, the holes in this car, where they're to, I remember what the bodywork was like in that area when I dug into it. And if I digs into this here to go well in pieces into it, holy blessed, I'm going to be in over my head I have enough to be at now other than putting this thing up the slings, right? So I'm going to pretty it up again, same as I did before. I never photographed any of the work that was on the car before, because the last time I done it, I had pictures of it. I'll show you here of, you know, the pictures I've done of the car the last time I got the facelift. I know what this car has and what it was in it when I bought it, okay? There's pieces pop riveted into the bottom of the fenders and in the quarter panels and stuff like that. That's the normal way things are. This is a fun car to drive, okay? I'm not concerned. Also, it looks good, okay? I'm not out to impress anybody with it. It's just, you know, I enjoy it, and one of the reasons why I painted it with cheap paint is because of the shape the body's in. I want to, you know, just have a little beater I can hop in, go places with, haven't got to worry about it, right? I'd love to restore it and take it all apart, but it's going to need fender bottoms, pieces well on the tops of the fenders, full quarters, full bottoms of the doors, full rocker panels. This car needs it all, okay? End panel, the whole works. You know, it's spent its entire life in a rust belt. It was hot rodded and it was just patched up. But that's what you get around here. It's very hard to get a good car in the northern climates that's rust free, okay? This is no exception, and I've dealt with this type of cars over the years. And you know, if you want an old car here cheap, this is what you got to buy, okay? So I'm going to bring it back to the shop and show you all the little things that I got to do with it and talk about a few things with it, and then I'll start stripping it down. So I got to put inside. It won't be staying inside, okay? Because the problem I got here, I got other cars to do. I just cleared out the bay today so I can actually get this one here in and get it stripped down, because the weather's starting to change bad and she's really showing her age, okay? I find as the weather gets worse, this is the second set of these I've had on this car since I bought it. They're just cheap old chrome ones, and they rust bad, okay? And same with the hubcaps. I'm missing one hubcap, so I got to buy 4 new ones. But other than that, everything else holds up pretty good on it. Most of it's nickel anyway. But I want to remove it off the car because I intend to paint the car. If you look, see if I can show you here. You can look at the grayness in this here. The old trim clad and everything on it. It's really showed its age. Hard to see. It looks good in the video. Right? But no, this car here, if you look here, she's got issues there. Okay? And you can actually see the line going along here, where the pieces pop riveted in it. I'm not digging into it. I'm not welding it in. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me on this one. Okay, the bottom of the doors had repairs done to it. Back here in the back bottom of the quarters, same thing. You can see the bubbles in it here. And this quarter back here has flakes on the bottom, as you can see here. See, it's rusty on the very bottom of the quarter panel. Of course, the paint. There's a lot of paint on this car. I won't be stripping it. The car has been painted multiple times. I'm just going to put it right on over the top of what's here. You can see here how thick the filler is, okay? On the back end of it, this back panel is done, repairs done on it. This here is fake, okay? That's the factory seam. I like putting them back in cars. But this here is all filler across the back here. That's fine for me. Like, there's nothing wrong with body filler, okay? There's not a thing wrong with it. It makes the car look pretty. If you're not looking for a show stomper, you know, pristine, you're not restoring a 69 Daytona, well, you know, and you just want a simple little beater, there's not a thing wrong with it. Now, this is our worst side over here. The whole section of the quarter panel is bad there, okay? And she's also down here as well. We'll take that off there, see? And of course, you can see the bubbles down through there. She has an actual quarter section put on her here. She has a bottom put in this door, and she has a bottom put in this fender, okay? Now, I dug into this the last time I done to the car. She's also got work done on her here, on both sides. And up around the nose, she's got work done, okay? The problem being with this car here, if I digs into it, okay, I'm going to be into a big restoration. I don't want to be doing that. I'm cleaning this up, okay? What we called a taxi special here. Haul it in, mop and glow, paint it, gone, out the door, okay? Yes, you can turn around and clean all this up, make nice little pieces, you know, do the cut and butt on there and a cut and butt on there and rockers there and completely make new quarter pounds like I've been doing with the other one over here. But the problem with it is, if I gets into this and does that, it's going to end up like this, okay? That's the problem I got. This car to me is a driver. I've been driving this car now 7 years, and I love driving it. It's a fun driver. I don't mind this stuff. I'm a bodyman by trade. I know what is there, okay? This car from here to here, from here to here, okay? That's all filler, okay? Nothing wrong with it. She has, I don't know if it's this side or the other side. She has the old Bondo. Now, this is really old stuff, okay? And it is a nuisance. You can barely see it there in the door. There's a wall bubble here in the door, and I did everything to try to get it out. But there's this old red filler right here. And I'm telling you, does it ever move, right? And it's constantly putting a wave in it. I've after blocking it out, filling it, and blocking it, and filling it. And I'm frightened to death to dig into it because I know I'm going to fall into it. When I strikes the grinder off this, when I go to I'll show you, okay? Everywhere I strikes the grinder, I'm going to fall in the filler, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, okay? But here's my whole plan with this. This car needs some upgrades, okay? It has little small rotors on the front of it, same size as on the race car here, okay? Little tiny rotors like that, okay? I have a larger set of rotors I picked up last year at the swap meet. Changed all that over with drop spindles to put on it. She's already got drop spindles on it, but I want to update the brakes and put larger brakes on it, okay? I'm going to quite possibly change the rack and pinion. The whole suspension in this car, since I bought it, I replaced the rear end, I replaced the transmission, had it rebuilt, I replaced the motor, I replaced all the front end parts, components, everything like that, and the only thing I haven't replaced is the rack and pinion, okay? I've been having troubles with wheel alignments on this here. It keeps constantly going out. I think the rack is on the way out, so I'm going to wants to put a new rack and pinion in it, okay? That's basically what I want to do to the front end in terms of that. Oh, yes. And I want to put a sway bar in it. This car is brutal on the road for rocking. So I like to put a sway bar up front. Out back here, this here has a 4-inch block in the back with the factory leaf springs. The problem I got with this car is that I likes it extremely low. I likes the tail dragger look. And when I puts it down low, because I got air shocks in the back of it now and I got it pumped up, that the rear end bottoms out in this car. The center section or the housing hits the frame rails, and there's not a lot of room between it. So I want to put a C-notch in the back of this here just to give it a bit more room, and I can lower the car down a bit more. I'd like to have the car another inch lower. I'd like to. And a sway bar in the back. So the reason why I haven't put a sway bar in the back is the way I made the tailpipes. So I'm going to cut all that off, remove all that, and then make all that up. These are plans I got. Whether I get them done is another thing, because I'm planning on, like, over the winter, hauling this in, doing a project on it, finishing it, putting it back out again. That's my goal. I'm not going to touch the body on it till the spring. I'm going to do all the mechanical work, everything that I want to get done to it, okay? Interior wise, I'd love to change it, but that's it, it's good enough for it. I want to put a heater in it. This here has a factory style heater, but it was a homemade job. They'd done it all with copper pipe. It never ever got off heat. Early in the spring and late in the fall, This is no fun to drive. It's very cold. Not so much for me, but Wendy likes having it nice and warm. And I had the heater out of this one, out of the Toyota. I have that upstairs, a little small compact heater. I think I'm going to put that in that. Okay. What else am I going to do with the interior in this? Oh, I got to fix the seats. Okay. The seats keeps falling apart. There's no clips on this side here, and the back keeps falling off the seat. Other than that, oh, both windows are hard to come down. Okay. They're very hard to roll up and down. I don't know what it is about them or anything, so I got to go look into that and get that straightened away so the windows go up and down better. Other than that, that's basically it, I think. But I'll probably find some other stuff that I want to get done with it. And until then, I'll just, leave it alone. But I like to clean up some stuff. You can see here, I like to paint these, okay? Clean up the rust on them there. Put a new set of these on her. I don't intend to change anything on the car. I'm not going to reinvent the car and make it look different and put a whole new look on the car. The car is, I love the look it is. I always do. Always did. I have no intentions of putting shiny paint on it. The reason for the way the bodywork is on it as well. Okay. Up front here now, like, you know, the chrome is not perfect, but you stand here and look at that here. That looks really nice. Okay. But you get up here close and look. You can see like there's flaws in the bumpers. Right, come over here, you can see there's little bits of rust and everything and stuff. Same with the bumperettes down there, right? I want to haul all that off for winter, put all that away. So my plan is here now, I'm going to dismantle everything. This is on this one here. Take everything off it that I want to take off it and put it upstairs, out of the way. And that way I can take it and I can park it out on the side of the garage here. And all I can do is throw a battery in it and run it back in. Underneath the hood here, I might freshen this up and give it another rebuild. But other than that, I'd like to do something with steering column in it. I never ever touched it. It actually rubs the frame rail down here and it's all made up out of stuff. I'd like to do a nicer job on that. Put the rack in it and you can see the motor mounts. I'm going to leave all that for now. She has some holes in the firewall where I can look in through. And that plating system on the firewall is not very good. Okay, that one there. It's not that good. I'm going to look into fixing that as well. Other than that, blocking off these vents, or I might even run them out to the front here somewhere. No, I'll just block them off because I get a lot of cold air and into the car with that. So other than that, I don't think there's a lot of real changes I want to make. Oh, the horns. One of the horns don't work. And I'd like to find another one of these horns. I love the sound of these horns. So I'd like to do that. Oh, that's another thing I want to change on the interior. Just remember it. Okay, that there is just a regular steering wheel on this here. I do have a deluxe wheel there on the wall right here. I like to get that. It's just got the horn ring and everything on it. I like to get that and put that in the car. I would like for the horn to actually work on the wheel. Okay, actually have it as the horn. Right now I got a button underneath the dash for the horn. So, but other than that, I think I covered all the bases. There's going to be a number of things that I would like to do to it, but a lot of it's just to make it more reliable, you know, make it just nicer to drive. I'm not concerned about impressing anybody with this car. You know, people are going to watch me when I start doing body work on this. I never showed it the last time. When I done this 7 years ago, I was doing photographs of cars, and I wouldn't photograph none of what I did with the car. I had pictures of it in filler and primer and paint, okay? And I'll show you some of that and when I done it last time, what it looked like and whatnot. But I never showed what I got myself into. And I dug into some of the spots on this car and I'm like, okay, stop right there, Tony. Because I just knows that when I start digging into it, it's just like, you know, I'll have 25 hours in that fender. I'll have 25 hours in that door. I'll have 30 plus hours into this quarter panel, okay? And then double that all on the other side again. Rocker panels, another 20 hours, into all the supports and all that type of stuff. So it's one of those things that's just like, Tony, where do you stop, right? So, you know, it'd be nice to be able to haul this in and strip. Maybe someday I'll do it, but for now, no. As you look, this car looks nice just like it is, okay? There's not a thing wrong with that there. So I'll just clean it up again like I did before and give it a freshen up. So for now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take every stitch of chrome off of this car, other than where I surround the front windshield, and remove it off the car and put it all away in a box. That way I can clean it all up and straighten it all up, and then I can get ready to store that outside for the winter. This is not good. I'm here taking the car apart, and I turned the wheels. As you can see, the wheels are turned. I grabbed the wheel here. This only broke off today. I've been driving this car now 7-8 years, and I just drove it in the garage and it let go. Tell me that car's not telling me something. Wow. So that's basically it for everything that I can take off from the outside. There's a lot of stuff on this old car. All the front is off it. The emblems, the wipers, the visor. I got the fender chrome off it. Rocker chrome is off it. And I got the what do they call them again? There's a name on them. Anyway, they got the shield let go on the bottom screws. All the bolts for this are let go back as far as here. All them bolts are let go from inside the trunk. Emblems gone, bumpers gone, license plates gone, taillights are gone. Look at this over here, look. I was in a fender bender. I backed into something here one day and never broke taillight though. So that's the repair got to be done. And I got this side here all let go, ready to go. And you see me pull these chrome off. I've had this car apart before, right? As you can tell, it's flat black underneath it. But you know, and this car never came with these chrome. I added this chrome. I added this chrome here. All that I added myself. She only had the band going around the back, and that was it. None of this was on this car. She just had one lower, one down here. But I added all this to this car since I got it. Day comes off from the inside. But I'm amazed with that rack and pinion though. As I said earlier, the only piece I haven't replaced on this car from the original build was the rack and pinion. Turn off that heater. Anyway, here's all the visor, rocker moldings, all this stuff I made up last time. Just piece of plate, a lot of the clips I made. The back of these were the original ones on them. The bumpers, I noticed one thing, the bumpers got the wrong size bolts in them. They're only a 1/2 inch nut on the bolt. So they were spinning around on these here, but luckily they've been apart before and they just unbolted. So, but the bumpers are pretty good. I got one bad spot in it here where it's really starting to flake on the bumper, but the rest of the bumpers are pretty good. I'm debating on a few things here now. You let me know what you think here now. I'm playing around with the idea here now of eliminating the bumperettes, shaving the emblems off the trunk lid, these ones here, and shaving the hood as well. I'm going to shave the emblem at the center of the hood here, get rid of that, and get rid of that there, and that there. And one of the reasons why is the only hot metal on the car, okay? Here's the one for the trunk lid. It's called pot metal, but see the way it goes? If you look at it closely, it's pitted up, right? That's the trunk lid one. That's the one that's on the hood, right? Now, the bird I replaced a number of years ago, but you can look at that. That's got a bit of pitting going on. That's just dirt on that there. But a small bit of pitting coming on the bottom side of it and stuff like that. But it's just an idea. Like, just leave everything else alone. I might even... These here have always been a nuisance. I've after buying 2 sets of these now. This is the second set of these on this car, and you can see what happens to them, huh? So I might just eliminate these altogether and not even put them on the car. To me, it's more maintenance and something what's easy to do with the car and whatever. It looks a lot cleaner. Possibly just do a mild custom job with it. I like the grill. I've even thinking about eliminating the grill bar on the front. I'll hold on to it. There's only a matter of bolting it on. It's over here. You can bolt it on any time. Just go around with the front bumper. Just do a mild custom on it. You can see the grill better then. I always like the 51 grill with the bar on it. So, and just go for a bit of a different look. Step it down a bit. There's only minor stuff, like the bumperettes I can bolt on any time again. But the shaving of the hood, that's probably the biggest job I got to do. I got to weld up all the center of the hood there and weld all this up here and here. And then just shave all that there, right? So, yeah, that's an idea anyway. So let me know what you think. Maybe play around with a French antenna. This one here is seized up. I'm going to drill it out and take it off. So I might put a French antenna in there, I don't know. Little power one. Just want something to stick up small bit. Just do mild, like to me this is a mild custom, and that's all I'd like to do. I don't want to get in the heavy stuff. I'd love to be able to chop it and, you know, do a full section. But all that takes time. Look at this thing up here, look. That's been set. I got that now. I think that's close to 10 years now since I started that car. It's just a lot of work on it, and I have a dozen things, and like everybody else, other interests gets in your head, right? I got 3 or 4 projects. I've stopped. I had a number of projects here. That was one. This is another one. And then I got patches, and then I got this here, okay? And then plus I got Wendy's Mustang. Now the whole thing with it is that I got to paint Wendy's Mustang as well. So my goal is to get this all ready, pick and poke at it, leave it out by the door. The spring, I'm going to bring Wendy's car home and paint it, and then I'm going to paint this one. So the spring of 2023, there'll be a lot of painting going on here. So I'm not a lover of it. I was a painter for a number of years. It's one of the parts of the trade that you can't really control. There's always things that goes wrong every time you're painting something. And I used to get really, really frustrated. I can work on rust and filler and do all that type part of the trade, but when it comes into painting a car and wants to do a real nice job on it, you get in there, the gun spits, the bug flies in the hood, you drops the cup off the gun, you know, I've been there, I've done it all, right? It just frustrates you because it's the final finish on the car, right? But you can see here, I was talking about, look, just rubbing it off there. You can see here where the emblem is too, how bad it's faded there now. Look. Now, it's just old cheap paint. It's holding up really well, right? In terms of, like, this, there's not a lot of chips or anything in this car. There's a scratch right here, right there in the door. And there's a scratch right here in the quarter panel. And any of you guys that go to the Moncton Nationals, this happened on Mountain Road, okay? I had a problem the year I had Cadillac hubcaps on this car, and I lost the hubcaps of it. A friend of mine gave me a set of hubcaps, and I put them on it. And it just seems like every now and again this car just decides to spit out hubcaps. And she spit out a hubcap, and it come off the back of the car here. It come off, went back, struck the quarter panel here, and passed the car, come in, struck it here, and then wheeled around the front of the car like this and went in and landed on the parking lot. The hubcap did. So that damage there, that scratch there, and that scratch there was from a hubcap. And that's one of the reasons why I went with the Baby Moons. Now they're getting pretty rough. They're over here now too. I like to find another set. But for some reason, they, see the rust? They are, you'd think they'd stay on, but no, my son. I lost one the year, and I don't know where it went to, and I had a hard time getting them off this car. But that's it for this now. So what I got to do now is I got to strip the interior. I got to take door panels off it, trim around the top, take the back seat out of it. So I'm going to get all that done now and get that ready so I can get this all off and get this chrome off the rest of it and have it all done. And then I can get all this stuff put away upstairs. Princess Auto Flyer show up. Break time. I talked about the front seats being broke. Right here inside the seat, there's a little seat clip, and I've never put them on it. There's one seats come apart. And every now and again, you hit someone in the back seat, you flip their hand, all that's gone when you're on the side of the road trying to fix your seat. Well, that's it. That's all the goodies offer. More there. Some chrome there. All right, I got parts everywhere, the seats. I'm going to throw all the seats of the panels back inside. Them panels I got to put away. But I had to limit all the interior out of it. The back seat. The whole back seat had to come out to take the trim off around the windows, to take the door panels off, so I can get at the bolts to take these chrome off here. And you're saying, well, why you want to take all this chrome off here? Because all the work on this car is right along the edge where all the chrome is too, okay? So I said I might as well strip it all off. And over here, same thing. This side's the worst side, look. All that's gone there. There's a big bubble in it right here. You know if you can see it there, not with my shadow on it. There's a big bump there. And then down here's another one. So that's where all the body work has to be done on this. I'm gonna leave this one alone for now, because I left the windshield one on it. I'm not quite sure. I took the bolts off the back of it, just got to remember to put them back on. There's really no need to take them off. I only took off the chrome because like this one here had an issue in the door, right? And it's a lot easier to do the body work and paint these cars with the chrome off them. I got less taping to do. I don't mind it. I probably got 6 hours in the stripping this apart. Thing with it is I had it apart before, see? The only trouble I had, and you saw me there, was these here, them lights, okay? This is the second set of lights on this car since it's been painted. And it was the part that I couldn't get off. Like the bolts were spinning inside and you couldn't really get at them from the inside and everything. So they've given me a lot of headaches because they've had to rust them twice on me now, and I think I'm going to eliminate them. They were cool. I love the dummy spots, but I don't know. I might change up a small few things on it. Like I was saying earlier, I probably might shave the hood and probably just take off a few bumperettes. And other than that, leave all the rest of the chrome on it and just eliminate these two here. Okay. But you can see places, there you go, look, there's just how much the color's changed, okay? Now that's only like a $40 gallon of paint that's on this car. It's left out in all kinds of weather, okay? I got a friend of mine, we done both vehicles the same way. He stores his inside. His truck still looks good, okay? And this paint here is not that good for like sun rays, and the UV rays on it is brutal, right? But like, you know, I got 7 years out of it, and I expect to get another 7 years out of what I'm going to do with this. Like, I don't want to get into this car too deep, okay? I have a lot of work to be done around here, building cars and stuff like this. This is a fun driver for me, so don't expect me, when you start seeing me doing repairs on this and saying, Tony, you're doing it wrong. Why are you doing it that way? I'm doing it that way because it's the fastest possible way. I'll go into that. I'm in this trade 30 odd years, and I've talked about it before. You see me doing all the metal finishing and stuff like that. The reason why I do it that way, because I was a bodyman. I had to weld pieces in cars, and I had to make stuff fit nice because I wanted the filler work to go nice. So the better the fitment was, the less filler you had to use. But before that came along, I was into, you know, the regular lap joints and, you know, mudding it all up and fiberglassing it all up and whatever. And I've done some cagey stuff. Like, I've flung my case of filler, not gallon, case of filler in my day, okay? I have no problems with filler. All right, because I've done it with this car before and I'll do it again. I has a bit of fun. It takes me back 20, 25 years when I was doing a lot of taxi cabs and stuff like that. We used to haul them in the morning and they'd be painted by 1 o'clock, okay? So, you know, and there was no money to be made in them. The only way you make money off them is to do them extremely fast. And that's basically what this is going to get. We call it a taxi special. Mop and glows, whatever you want to call them, right? But that's it for this now. I'm going to throw the interior back in it now, and I'm going to have to figure out that there rack, okay? I'm going to have to order one for it, but for now, the one I got for the Toyotas here, which is the same rack and pinion, there on the floor somewhere. Where I got that stashed to. There's the grill and everything over there. But there's a rack and pinion here for this car that I might just throw in this for now. I have a couple of them. I'll go down the basement and have a look for one too. But this is power steering, that's standard steering, so, but the rack will get it, because the problem is now I can't drive this, I can't move this car, because I can't steer it. But anyway, so I'm going to turn around now, jack this up, and get that rack out, and put another rack in it, so I can get this put away and out by the door. Yeah, nothing to that, easy job. Just get down and bolt the rack. Yeah, okay. Yeah, nothing to that. Well, this is what I run up against. It was easy to get the ends off, okay? It was easy to let steering column go. The actual bolts that holds the rack on, right here, okay? Them ones there, they started to spin, huh? That sleeve there is supposed to be part of the bushing. There's the bushing, okay? I ended up having to drill it out to weaken it off so I can pry it off over the top of it. Got the top of the bushing off. You know, there's no way in that. That's the way that was done over right there, look. And I drilled it out along the sides of it to just to weaken the rubber so I can pry it off. You can see what I did there? Oh my God. So now I got to try to get that sleeve off of that on both sides, because both that side is the same way. That side there, it won't even turn. I can get the socket on the other side with impact on, and it won't even rotate the nut with neither bolt on the end of it. If you look at it there, see? That there C solid to the frame. But yeah, I say I'm over an hour now fooling with this, trying to get this off. So here we got her, right here. This is the power steering rack here, okay? You can see where I butchered it, trying to get it off on both sides, okay? I'm here trying to not make too much of a mess. I hate dirt, I hate mechanic work. Some fellas hates body work, I'm the other way around. But now, I'll run into a scenario. Here's the rack and pinion, the standard. That's a standard Mustang 2 rack, and that's a power steering Mustang 2 rack. Here's the problem, okay? The size of the one on the car is a different size. This is smaller. Now, I do have this one here. I don't know if it'll rotate and clear the motor mount or not. So, I'm going to have to modify the steering column to mock this up so I can get this together. I'm planning on buying a new power steering pump. It's going to take me a week or more for it to get in here. I'm not leaving that there sat on the floor for a week. I got other stuff to be done. So I got to mock something together here. Make up something so I can put the standard rack in it. So I can just get it so I can move it outside. I'll order a power steering rack and put a new one in it. And so now I got to go on now, get the column out of it and start figuring all that out. I might just go ahead and get the column out of it. And then I'll turn around and I'll fit all that back in after. Just get that back in place. I got to get some sort of bushing, something. I got one there is good enough, but I got to get something to put in there just to hold the rack in place. All this is temporary, just so I can get the car, so I can steer it to move it out and park it outside. So here's where I'm at. These sleeves were inside these bushings, okay? They're part of the bushing, and they were seized onto the bolt. I split them, I oiled them, I pounded on them, I did everything with them to try to get it to become loose. It would have been nice to have heat, okay? I haven't had heat in a long time. Oxygen acetylene, I can't justify it. A contract on oxygen, a contract on acetylene, and then filling the acetylene and filling the oxygen, having it sitting around the shop. Sometimes it's sitting 6-8 months and I don't even touch it. You know, it's just one of those things. It's nice to have around. But I can't justify it. Twice now over the past 30 years, I've had contracts, bottles, and torches, and I just said, no, get rid of it, sell it. And after selling it all off, I just don't use it enough, see? At times like this, it would have been great to have, because I could have heated this up and saved this bolt, okay? But I was doing everything. I was spending way too much time at it yesterday trying to get this, to save these bolts, and I said shag it, okay? For the time I spent on it, I just took the grinder, cut things off, because I couldn't get them out, and I just went out, paid $20 for new bolts. That's it. So that problem solved. Next problem I got, okay, this is the old power steering rack. I'm ordering in a new one, okay? That'll come with new bushings and everything, so I would have needed to get these bolts anyway. But for now, this was not my intentions of going at this. My whole plan with this car was to just turn around, dismantle it, take it all apart, get it ready, put it outside, okay? Now I'm into this job. I'm at this now 2.5 days, fooling with this, trying to get this all straightened away in the evenings. So I got to get this done and get it out of the garage, because it was not my plan to be at this right now, okay? And I got to order a rack. I'll order that in the new year, okay? So I got this standard rack here, which is a Pinto rack, but the sleeves are different. These here are different, okay? Nicest thing about it, I do have a knuckle to fit this one, but I got to cut up the column. I was cutting it up anyway. Here's what I got in the way of a bushing. I got one in that and neither one in that. All plastic bushings. So I'm going to have a look around, see if I can find something. All I'm concerned about is getting this in the car so I can turn the wheel, okay? I just want to get this so I can actually take this out of the garage, back it out, move it in. I can move the car around the yard if I need be. It's not going anywhere now, okay? It just is just to make it mobile. It's something quick, simple, and easy. So I'm going to cobble up something here. I might get washers or a sleeve or something. I'm trying to figure out if I got another one of these plastic sleeves like this here, and I'll just slide that into it for now. But it's just temporary. I'll throw it all together. I'll chop up the column that's in it and make this fit and just tack weld it together for now. Well, I'll weld it together just so that it works for now. And I'll get all that done and I'll get this thing done and out the door. I'm going through my collection of stuff. I had all kinds of bushings and everything here, and I was just like, you know, no, that don't fit. And that there don't fit. Okay? And I come across some rubber bushings and put that in there. No, that's not going to fit, right? I had these plastic ones kicking around, and no, that's not going to fit, right? So I was there rooting around some more, and what did I come across? Yes, that's what they are. They're a factory set of Mustang 2 rack and pinion bushings. I never knew I had them there. And I'd say now they came down in a kit somewhere a lot of ways, and I holds on to everything, see? So I got to the factory set of bushings put in it. Bonus! I'm going to go ahead now and get that rack bolted up in place. So the rack is bolted up at tie rods. I just lift the ones around them and measure them up. They're pretty close. Good enough for a mobile rig moving around. I'm up here at the column now. Someone had this column welded. These are a slip yoke column, okay? The way they work is they got a safety in them. So if in front end collisions, the column will push back up inside the other one. What they had done, they had it welded on solid here. I went and measured the column itself. Now the problem I got is this distance here is different on the standard rack, which is down here somewhere. So all I'm going to do is this is the piece that come off the standard rack. I'm just going to shove this down inside this here as far as it can go. I'll cut this off. I marked this here on the bench here, and this is the length that it was, okay? Now it has to be longer. I just laid this here so that it's just behind the position where it was. This will slide out and this will slide in the existing piece, so then I got movement. So it's no trouble to worry about it lining up, because all I got to do is just slide it out to it, slide it on, and tighten it up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hack that off here, hack that off there, weld two of them together, and that way that could slide back and forth, and I'll have that end on it, right? I intend to remake all this again, because this yoke up here is shot, okay? And the way they had the column done, up here, there's no bearing there, okay? And it's play in it. Oh, I don't like that. I'll take the column out of it. I'll remake all this again, do nice joints and everything on it, have that done. But for now, this is temporary, so I'm going to go ahead, cut this here, weld that to there. Now, my precision aligning tool here, okay? All I got done is I got the one end of it chucked up in a piece of angle iron clamped in place, and same with the other side. All I did is I put scrap pieces of steel and tried different thicknesses to try to square it up so the two of these lined up half sensible, okay? Usually I V's this out more than this. I'm not worried about it because this is only temporary. And I usually V's them out here and then welds this here. But this is how you can actually line up some stuff. I have a shim of a razor blade there and a razor blade and a piece of steel here to line them up. I clocked these so they're close to what these were. By rights they should be the same. But if you look down this, you'll notice that this here is off center. Well, I got to clock this a small bit this way, see? It doesn't line up with the bottom. This here is not perpendicular to this joint, right? Which you would think it would be. Like when you lay this flat on the bench here, that is turned a small smidgen. Okay, there's a small bit of a turn on it. So I just got this here with a small bit of a turn on it, and I'm just going to turn around and just weld this together here now, and then just what's it called. But usually, like, I'd V back both of these here so I get good penetration on them, and sometimes I'd even go to the point of putting a sleeve over the top of them. You slide over and plug weld it around. This is not something. Some places won't allow you to weld steering column stuff. We don't have no problems with that here. I know, talking to a lot of guys in Australia, you're not allowed to weld none of this stuff here. None of your steering gear is supposed to be welded, which makes sense and everything, but I'm just cobbling this together here for now. So yeah, I'll get this all welded up. And there it is, all welded together, slid back in place. Come out pretty good, it's not bad. I got it clocked, it's close. Not perfect, but it's close. But as you can see now, the original section I had from the center here to here marked on the bench, that was where the end of this here was to on that rack there. But the other one is longer. Now I got this one set up now that you can actually take it apart. You can pull it apart, see? So now I can actually pull it down past that and put it into the rack, so I haven't got to worry about the alignment of it. It's only temporary. So I'm going to throw this in the car here now, and I got steering again. I got steering! That's it, brand new. One last thing I got to do now, I got her back on her wheels, is I'm going to have to disconnect the power steering pump. So I got to take the belt off it. In order to do that, I got to let the alternator go. So I'll let all this go now, get that pump belt off, and then I won't have to worry about that squirting fluid all over the place. Power steering pump delete. Put the alternator again now. My anti-wind unit. I'll keep the hood down. That's it. She's ready to be put away. I gotta check the antifreeze, make sure there's antifreeze in that. I'm pretty sure there is, but I better double check that. And then I can put this outside. So that's where she'll be parked for the winter. That way I can haul it in and out if need be. I went in and I got some fancy tape, and I want to keep the critters out of her. So I taped up the 2 holes with taillights. I don't want no birds or anything going in there making nests and everything. So that one's straightened away. I finally got it done and that's put away. That's fine out here now for the winter. It's the plow will keep it clear and everything. I'll just move it out. And that's the plow over there. You've probably seen that in my little short that I had done. I've been pretty busy here trying to get ready for winter and getting stuff done. This is plow truck number 5. I just use it for plowing my driveway. It's fairly long, and this is the 5th truck I've had here now since I moved here. I just had a mounted blade on it and all that type of stuff, but it's only like it's a $200 truck, right? But it runs like a top. Fuel injected, right? Little 4.8 in it, with noisy alternator. I'll live with that. Got the hydraulic blade put on her this time. So that's all worked out. She's ready to go. She got the rocker delete and cab corner delete. She's got that on both sides. I just cut everything off it, and whatever rust was hanging on it, I cut off it, and that was it. And the rest of it, it is what it is, okay? There's no brakes on this. I don't know what does it mean, brakes and trucks. But the first thing I did when I moved this truck and I brought it home is pop the brake line. Now I'm worried about it. Dad'll stop it. If not, reverse will. So one more thing to do. You probably, if you're new here, you don't know, remember this one here is, but this is Patches, okay? Now Patches has been out here in the Patina Bay, getting so she can rust and all that type of stuff. And I haven't touched this in a long time, But the problem with it is there's some rust breaking out on spots, and it's getting too bad. So I got to get that inside. I'm going to put that underneath the rack. The reason why it's not inside now is because I got to cut the rack down, so that's another hobble. But I'm just going to shove that inside, and that'll be pretty well it. I'll be pretty well ready for winter then. I got a few other things to do with that, just so that I can poke that away, put all the stuff away in the garage. Yeah, this is Patches. A number of you have followed along from the beginning know this truck. It's a truck that I'm building. I built it from the woods of Newfoundland. It's built out of everything. I haven't touched it in well over a year, I think. I just got too much on the go. See, as you can see, look, there's my 3 projects there, plus the one out by the door there. So I got a lot of stuff to be at, plus doing customer stuff. This has been out by the door now that long that the cleco's rusted out. Look, now is that patina or is that patina? Well, here's the problem. I made these the first year I started this truck. Look, I'll make them again now. I noticed this there a few weeks ago and I said, no, she's got to come in. The problem with it is there's no drain. That there was welded solid over the piece, and there's no way for water to escape, and it just fill up with water, and that was it. And I'd say it froze and it cracked. Must have happened there. But that's minor. Rest of it's holding up good. Firewall. That's the way I'm leaving this car. This will not be painted, this truck. I'm going to scuff it off. I want to see all the welding that's been done on it, all the patchwork. Like that's door sections off a Dodge car that I got the lip out of and welded into the back of it. Okay, the back of it is a Ford truck, 46 back to 39, I think. The doors are the same. Tops of the doors are Dodge car. The front of the roof, this is a Dodge car. This firewall is a Dodge car. 36 Dodge, I think, or Plymouth, not quite sure. I let the firewall for leg room. This floor pan, this whole floor section is, I think, a 95 Ranger pickup that I mounted in it. This was my old truck that I used to drive, and I scrapped it and I took the floor out of it. I was amazed how good the floors were in it, so I used that as the platform. So all our mounts and everything are still in that. That could bolt right to a Ranger chassis, not a problem. But the problem I run into was that when I bolted onto the Ranger chassis, everything had to be moved back. So I kind of lost interest in it at the time. I thought it was going to be direct build. The wheels were like, these old cars are moved back on the chassis compared to a modern day chassis. So, and like I got all the firewall done. I got to get the side panels here. I have the 39 section that will go here. Got the teardrop in it with the hood and everything that'll go on this. This here, when it's done, is going to look roughly like a 40 Ford truck. I have everything for it. I got the box rear fenders. I don't have a tailgate. I got 2 front fenders off 39 Ford. I got a couple of hoods down I got to cut up to make it fit this here. I got a grill off, I think, a 37 Ford. Similar to 35 or 36, I think it is. But it's a little bit different, but I managed to rig it all up and make it all work and everything, got all that done. It's a cool project. I always wanted to do it. I've been hunting around in the woods for Newfoundland a long time, and I've always said it'd be cool to build stuff out of the woods in Newfoundland. All this here, other than that, come from all over Newfoundland. I think this come from out around Clarenville area. This section come from Thorburn Road. I done a video on this section where this came from. The roof itself, that come from Glenwood. That's a roof skin off a Chevy pickup, 54, right? So I figured I'd just give a quick little update on it. I got to lower this rack down now because she won't fit in that corner. I got to clear everything out over there and lower the rack down, just cut it off and shorten it, and shove it right in that corner there so it's out of my way. That's where it's got to have to stay. I'll pile everything inside of it for now. I don't want to let it go too far. It's been out way too long. And maybe the winter, if I got some time, I might haul it out and weld some stuff up on it. I'd like to get this firewall section finished. I haven't touched it in a long time. Too many irons in the fire, just too many irons. But anyway, I got to get this all straightened away, put all this stuff away, put it upstairs, get ready and start getting back at the regular stuff. I want to get back at Krusty. I want to get the roll cage started on that. I want to get the quarter panel finished up on this and get back on that. I was talking to the owner on that, so I can move ahead on that. And I have another rig that got to come here, a couple of rigs really. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. Don't know if there's much in the way of tips, but there's probably a tip of not waiting to the last minute to do all your winter stuff. Anyway, I hope that tip was good, and until next time.